Consider the function f with domain A and range B, and the function g with domain D and range E. If B is a subset of D, then the composite function denoted by this one here, it's read as g dot f of x, is the function with domain A such that g dot f of x is g of f of x. Okay, so for example, let us have this function f here whose domain um, consists of 1, 2, and 3. So while the range of f are those set of outputs. So set of outputs are 0 and 1 only. So this is the domain of f. Ito naman yung range ng f. We have also another function. So the function g, whose domain is this one here. So the domain of g consists of 2, 3, 0, and 1. So take note that the range of f is just part of the domain of g. In other words, the range of f, this one here, is just a subset of the domain of g. Alright, so that's the domain of g. And the range of g are all outputs of g, like 3, 5, 4, and yes, 4 and 5. So 3, 4, and 5. These are just the range of G. So itong buo, okay, in color orange. Okay. And we have another function here coming from this domain, okay, domain of f. So that is denoted by g dot f. Ito siya, whose domain is just the domain of f. Okay, so the domain of g dot f is the domain of f, whose range is ito, no? The range is only 4 and 5. So the range is just part, all right, of the domain of g. Okay, so what are the inputs, no, of g dot f? The inputs are 1, 2, and 3, right? And the outputs are 4 and 5. So 1 goes to 0, 0 goes to 4. 2 goes to 1, 1 goes to 5. 3 goes to 0, and then 0 goes to 4. Let us have this example. Consider the function f of x, or consider the function f defined by this one, x squared plus 1, and consider a function g defined by g of x is equal to 1 over x. Then we have to find the image of x under this function g dot f. Okay, so following the definition, this g dot f here becomes, okay, so this one becomes, sulat na lang natin diretso. Okay, so this is, sige, or we can just write here sa ilalim na for the solution. Okay, so that is the g dot f of x, and this is equal to, by definition, this is just equal to g of f of x. Okay, so take note, no, dito sa ating ano, ayan, i-highlight ko lang. Yung input ng g dito is the output of x under the function f. That is ito, no? So that is the g of f of x. And so this is equal to, okay, is equal to the g of, again, I will replace f of x here. The f of x here is equal to x squared minus 1 in this case. And this one here is f of x. So I will replace f of x by x squared plus 1. Okay, so x squared plus 1. Okay, so that is now the f of x. Now to evaluate g of this function, okay, we have to replace all x here in g of x. Okay, so this will become, okay, that is just equal to 1 whole over x squared plus 1. Okay, so ulitin ko, no? So kailangan i-replace natin ang x ng uh, x squared plus 1. Okay, so all x will be replaced by x squared plus 1. Ito yun siya. Alright, so that is now our g of f of x. Okay, second, for the g of f of 4, so this is a particular point, no? So under g of f. So the g of f of 4, g of f of 4. Okay, so again, our g of x is defined by this one here, no? So the g of x, we already computed that to be equal to 1 over x squared plus 1. So we will just substitute x is equal to 4 on that. Okay, so ito kasi yun, no? So we are talking about this particular x here. And if we replace our x by 4, of course, all x here will be replaced by 4 also. Kasi nga, ang g of x natin equal dito. Alright? Okay, so this is just equal to 1 over, palitan natin yung x ng 4. So 4 squared plus 1, and this is equal to 1 over 4 squared is 16. Okay, plus 1, and this is just equal to 1 over 17. Okay, so that is now our g dot f of 4. Alright, so in number 3, we are asked to solve naman for the f dot g of x. So baliktad na nauna yung f ngayon. F dot g of x. So okay, kapag ganyan, yung definition niya ay f of g of x. So okay, ngayon nasa loob na yung g of x. Unlike kanina, kanina kasi f yung nasa loob. Ito yung nasa loob is g of x. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, we will replace yung nasa loob ng parenthesis ng g of x. And that is 1 over x by definition. Okay? Okay, so now we will replace 1 over x doon ngayon sa, okay, look at the definition of f. Okay, ito yung f natin. No? Okay, kanina nag-replace tayo ng whatever is inside the parentheses doon sa g. Ngayon naman, whatever is inside the parentheses, yun na ang i-replace natin ngayon dito sa f na ito. Okay, so f. So, ibig sabihin, lahat ng x dito sa f of x, papalitan natin ng 1 over x. Okay? Okay, so ibig sabihin, this one is equal to, ulit lang tayo ng pen. This is equal to, okay, 1 over x squared plus 1. Okay, so again, only x is replaced here. No? So, kumbaga, ito yung x squared natin kanina plus 1. So, instead of x, we just replace that by 1 over 1 over x. Or we can just simplify. We can write this one as 1 over x squared plus 1. Okay, so that is now our f dot g of x. Now, we will evaluate the f dot g of 4. So, we will replace papalitan lang natin yung x dito sa f dot g ng 4. So, katulad kanina, no? So, f dot g of 4, this is equal to, and our f of g of x is equal to 1 over x squared plus 1. So, palitan lang natin ng 4 itong x dito. Okay? It is just equal to 1 over 4 squared plus mag-add tayo ng 1 doon. Or we can just write that one as 1 over 16 plus 1. Or simply 17 over 16. Okay, now so there are cases that composition of functions are defined by table. Consider the function f and the g described by this one for f and this one naman for the function g. Then we can evaluate the following. Okay, so first here is the g that f of 3. So by definition, this one here is equal to the g of f of 3. So ito yung image ng 3 under f. So titingnan natin yung 3 under f. Ito yung f. So the image of 3 is negative 2. Okay? So the f of 3 is negative 2. So that is equal to, i-replace lang natin yung f of 3 ng negative 2. Again, yung ni-replace lang natin dito ay ang f of 3. Okay? Then, for the g of negative 2, tingnan natin yung g of negative 2. Ito yung g natin. And the g of negative 2 is this one. The g of negative 2 is 0. So that is just equal to 0, right? Okay, for the g of g dot f of 0. Okay. So by the way, para you can just also look directly into this one, no? Kasi sa g dot f of 3, mauna tayo magtingin doon sa f. Okay, so f ito, no? Kasi from right to left tayo. Sa f muna, tapos sa g. So sa f, okay, tingin ka sa 3. 3, okay, goes to negative 2, and then you have to look at g now after that. 3 goes to negative 2, then for g naman, negative 2 goes to 0. That is why this is equal to 0. For this one, f, okay, 0. So 0 goes to 4, and then on g, 4 goes to 5. That means itong g dot f0 is equal to 5. Then for the f dot f of 3, so sa f ka muna, sa f of 3, the f of 3 is negative 2. Okay? And then going back to f, the negative 2 is equal to, the f of negative 2 is equal to 4. That is equal to 4. And similarly, the f dot f of 1 is equal to 4.